Thanks, money. How are all my money makers doing today? Hope you guys had a good day in the market. It was a down day in the market, that's for sure. So markets today, the Dow down 124 points, the S&P down 13, and the NASDAQ down 9 points. So I had a late day rally. Unfortunately, some of the bigger ones that we play were down today, like Apple and Pfizer again. They started up really nice. Apple was up to 129 today, and then and Pfizer was even up a few cents. And before the market, I thought we were going to actually finally have a good day on Pfizer, and nope, Pfizer took a dump again. So big shout out to our Patreon members. You guys, I made sure I posted all my trades for you. Had most of my trades at the end of the day today. I'm going to let you guys know I made a couple of executive decisions on the account today because I felt it was time to make some choices. And you know what you know well, and you know how to make money doing those things. And if you're not making money, then get the heck out of the way on stuff that isn't going to do you any good. I thought about, what with Pfizer, what we should do. So I'll just jump right in and tell you what we did. So unfortunately today, the account was down $98,000. Like I said, I know it's a little hard to see this. So we're down $98,000 today. Towards the end, last couple of minutes of the day, I waited it out. The good news is, Brandon Demers live. The good news is Apple come back from its lows. After hours, of course, is doing great. But Pfizer, from where I sold some of my Pfizer, came back a little bit. I could have wound up with an up week if I probably waited a couple more, 5 more minutes on Pfizer. But it's hard with a lot of contracts. And Pfizer, every time I put in orders for large amounts, I wasn't really getting good fills. So basically, I said, the heck with it, and I am done out of Pfizer for now. Just took my losses and moved on. You'll also see here, I did another 100 contracts of the, whatchamacallit, 126s, because it was free money. Got those. And then these ones, I wrote new, the 124s for next week, 700 of them. I actually tried to write 500 more of them at the end of the day, and I was like a couple of seconds too late. So that's okay. I'm fine. If we don't have, who knows? If we don't have a stimulus deal, who knows what's going to happen? And then the 127s, I bought those back at 29 cents. And so it's actually, I sold them for 30 cents and I bought them back for 29 cents. So those were the ones. And at one point today, they were over $1. Over $1. We were down 2/3 on them. So one point today, my account was down about $170,000. And, so it's definitely crazy, how it's working and, the different things and stuff. But like I said, so Pfizer, I just said, you know what? I'm done. I'm not going to ride that. I'm not going to ride that Pfizer storm any longer. And, you leave it alone. So Basil says, on the last 100 contracts, did you just have them expire? Yeah, so I left those 300 contracts of the 126. I did not close those out. So I'll actually pick up $450 more tomorrow in the account, because I was like, why do I want to buy 300 contracts back unless I needed the money to, sell other positions, but I had plenty of buying power. So I just figured let them expire worthless. It's why buy them back? And, I would have paid, it would have cost me actually 2 cents contracts. I would have paid $600 plus commission. I would have wound up spending, $650 to close that position. So why give away $650? So I just let them expire worthless. So going into the market on Monday, we have 700 contracts of the 124s for Apple open. So basically a $70,000 position. So that would be our potential upside as of right now. I'll probably write another 700 or 800 contracts on Monday, depending on what the market does. Market right now has no clue what it's doing with this, stimulus and everything. if we don't, if we get a stimulus, I think the market will be really strong next week. If we don't get a stimulus and everybody has a reality check that you guys are all, the people not working are all screwed for unemployment benefits, and there's no help into the markets for individuals or in businesses and more PPE aid, it could be a really, really ugly holiday season. I mean, it's already going to be ugly, but it could be really, really ugly. So actually for the week, it wasn't that bad. For the whole week, down $12,000. So, and it's basically all Pfizer. If I didn't mess with Pfizer, I would have been up 200,000 this week on Apple, doing what we were doing. And this is why I told you guys, if you know something and you know it well, that's why you play it. If you start playing too many things, it's going to bite you in the ass, and this was living proof of it. Last week we got lucky; we made 50 grand on Pfizer, and we're still doing good. So this week basically was a wash, 12,000 down, no biggie. We'll catch it next week. Hopefully next week we'll make 100.5, 200,000 in the market. It's also a shortened week next week and the week after. So Christmas is on Friday, if I'm correct. Let me just make sure I have my dates. So Christmas is Friday and Christmas Eve is the 24th. So the market will be open Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, regular hours, and then Christmas Eve the market will close at 11 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, be 1 o'clock Eastern. So we only have 3.5 days of trading. So those premiums are pretty nice, especially on Monday. And usually, they call it usually over the holidays, the markets are pretty stable. With everything going on in the world right now, who knows? But a 3.5 day trading week is a good thing. And then the next week, another 3.5 day week with New Year's. So, we can make a lot of money in only 3 days because those premiums are going to expire fast. And the week out will actually be a really good premium, for New Year's. You do have to watch what happens, with other stuff in the marketplace, like what is it? God, can't think of what I'm saying. You just need to watch with other stuff, like with COVID and the stimulus. But I think next week the markets will be pretty stable. I guess. Well, I mean, here's the thing: the market doesn't have an answer on stimulus yet, and it didn't totally tank. So there's still, and they're, now they're going to allow banks to buy back, stuff and shares and do some stuff. So it's pretty stable. Interesting. Last couple of minutes of the day, Tesla ran because it got added to the S&P 500. All-time high today, $695. But after hours, it's already down 15 points. So doesn't really mean anything after hours, but still, at the last second of the day, somebody must have been waiting to get their Tesla in and did not think in advance, or they said, maybe the stock was, up and down, because towards the end of the day, it was really interesting. Tesla was all the way down before the last hour of the day. Tesla was down to $631, so almost down 20 points for the day. So it was a very interesting day in the marketplace. Like I said, some of these are hard to catch and tell and know what to do. But Pfizer, I just said, you know what, screw it, let's get it out. Let's see. Adam says, what is a contract? So a contract, when we're trading options, they're called contracts, and a contract is 100 shares of stock. So one contract equals 100 shares of stock. Andy says, Raja, what do you do when you lose? Any advice? Is tough. I just keep moving on. Like example today, I just said, I could have wrote Pfizer out, and actually if I did write Pfizer out, write it out and roll it out for next week or do something, we actually would have actually made some more money because Pfizer came back about 10 cents from when I had got out of it with the last 15 minutes of the day. But I just wanted to be out of it, be done with it. Everything I read about it, I don't like. And like I said, it's mind-blowing to me because you have Tesla, which is being ran by a genius and a nut job at the same time. Like I said, you can't knock the guy as a genius, and he builds a great product. but he's crazy. You just don't know what this guy's going to do next. Shutting factories down. There's no wait for a Tesla, and this thing just keeps running. And of course, the addition to the S&P 500. But now it's on the S&P 500. So now, what happens to Tesla? This will be the true test. If Tesla misses a quarter or numbers or I'm going to tell you guys this right now. If Tesla gets one bit of negative news, that stock is going to be down $200, I mean, that thing will be dropped, 30%. It's going to drop so hard. And it's just run way too much. You just can't catch up with those earnings. While it would be great if you could, you just can't. So, John says, do you invest in mutual funds as well as stocks? I do have a 401k and I have mutual funds there and stuff, but I don't individually do that. How about Bitcoin? Bitcoin is on fire. Like I said, it's like the kid kicking the soccer ball around the playground. It's what's hot right now. And, the Raja has put a price target on Bitcoin of $27 billion. That's my Bitcoin targeted price for 3,087, the year 3,087. So in 150 years, I have put a targeted price on $27 billion for Bitcoin. I mean, it's just a joke. I mean, it's an imaginary money. It's like, look, I have a remote control right here. Let's trade these. Everyone's remote control. These are worth $1 today. But I'm telling you guys, buy these remote controls, because this is how you're gonna. This remote control here is gonna be the new thing. Except, well, it actually can't be that remote control, because it has to be an imaginary remote control that we can't even visually see. But we'll have a little bank account, or we'll have a little thing that gives you a number that says this is how many of them you have. I don't know. Like I said, I've done well in Bitcoin. I have Bitcoin, but my personal, thing about Bitcoin is I think it's imaginary. It's just, there's nothing backing it. At least, like I said, at least gold or something, has some other uses, or jewelry, has a value. But it's the same thing. Like, what happens if somebody found a new gold supply, and all of a sudden, where, it costs all, obviously with gas down and gold prices up, you can, get all this cheaper gold out of the ground now, but it's more affordable. But what happens if somebody discovered, somebody's moving, some dirt somewhere, a new mine, and all of a sudden they just discovered it, had more gold than they ever imagined existed in America, or not in the world. What would the price of gold be tomorrow? What if, like I said, what if somebody said, you know what, I just, uncovered, 1 million pounds of gold, that nobody ever expected, and we don't even have to use cranes or anything to get out of the ground or anything. I just take a chisel and I just break off 8-pound, bricks, cracking it at a time of gold. And here I have an 8-pound brick. Give me 30,000 an ounce times 16 ounces. Give me here I want my 50,000, 100,000, whatever it is. Like I said, it's insane, but at least gold's been around for a long time, so it makes more sense. Somebody says, for Apple, are you doing calls and selling if the stock starts to trade up? Would be great to see your method live for option newbies. So Eric, I do post all my trades in real time that I do as soon as I do them on our Patreon group for Raja Makes Money. So today, got bombarded the last couple of minutes. So it probably was hard for some people the last few minutes today to catch them all, just because it was so quickly in the end of the day. But we do, post them all there and stuff and go over them. But yeah, right now we're just selling puts to open and buying puts to close. So we're kind of staying behind the stocks, looking for them to either, stay where they're at or above the strike prices, or, run. Then if they have been running, then we're just like Apple this week. We're rolling it up to catch the premiums as the stock keeps going up. So that's our strategy for that. So Basil, join Patreon. Well recommended. Thank you. Welcome to it. Brian says, just found your channel this week. I've enjoyed it greatly. Followed you on Facebook as well. Awesome. And we do. We have a Facebook fan page for the Raja Makes Money, as well as our YouTube channel. And like I said, all these videos that we're doing now, these are just warm-up videos until we, I'm just practicing, getting used to it all and stuff. First week of January, when this starts, we'll reset the account to $5 million, hopefully, because we're taking out a lot of money from it. But it'll start with $5 million, and then we'll have our daily shows and be working to educate you guys. I have blog posts. We'll have an email newsletter. If you guys have been following me on, you're probably seeing social media posts, and you're probably seeing a lot of progression. So we're just, like I said, just a little warm up. Getting, I figure if I'm going to launch, I don't want to launch with, 1 subscriber. Let's get some people in. I think we have like 3,500 subscribers now. So thank you guys who have all subscribed to Raja Makes Money and being part of my money makers. But yeah, it's just going to, keep growing and stuff. But yeah, let me take a couple of questions here. Andy says, Tesla value is 40 times Ford. It's insane. Tesla's worth more than all the other automakers combined. Tesla's worth more than, the top 10 countries of the world. Top 10 companies of the world. It's ridiculous what they're worth, Like I said, when that one crashes one day, it is going to crash like no other. What are your thoughts on Airbnb, Raja? So actually, let me just check. I don't even know what it closed at today. Let me just pull up here. I can give you my thoughts on that one. Airbnb. Airbnb. I know it came way down, and then they were back up. Yeah, today up 7%. So let's see here, up $10 a share. It's the same thing. Let's see. It actually today hit a new, so it came out, it started out really strong, 140s, then it came all the way down to 124, and the last couple of days ran again. I don't get it. The company didn't grow in business. And let's see what DoorDash is at today, because that's the other hot one. DoorDash today up 8%. It's like, why would these companies be up so much? So DoorDash, on the other hand, came out all the way up to $189 at one point, and then came all the way down to $154 yesterday. So it had a little bounce today, but it's the same thing. Like, they're losing money. DoorDash, they don't make any money, those companies, and they're gonna just come back. I don't know. It's funny. If you have a business that makes nothing or very little, the market rewards you incredibly. If you have something that does really well, the market punishes you unless you have a bigger dividend or you increase your dividend. So just crazy how it all works. Let's see. Benjamin says, Raja, if Coinbase does have an IPO this year, are you going to trade it? So the issue with the IPOs is I can get in on them, but even with, and I have a couple of other accounts I trade as well, besides the one, like the $5 million account and stuff. Even with the size of my accounts, I very rarely get allocated anything, or they give me 100 shares, which I'm not, don't knock that, but honestly, 100 shares and it goes up, $30. It's free money. I'm not knocking it, but the hassle and the work to get those 30 shares, and if you can't trade them on time, or something goes wrong, or eventually one of these is going to just be a dud. So Eric says, Moderna market cap is $55 billion, $10 profit per dose. They need to sell over 1 billion doses to be at 4x multiple. Seems insane. It is insane, and that's the whole thing, and that's why Pfizer's doing so poorly. So one is Moderna, is a negative. It hasn't made any money. They're still losing money, and I don't even think they're making $10 a dose, because they agreed to sell a lot of these doses very cheap. And the other thing is, what are they going to do in 2023? At some point. We have some absolute geniuses. This is 2020, 2021 is about to start. We have some absolute geniuses in the world. Somebody is going to have a cure for COVID that is, not 95, not 94%, 100%. They're going to do something, right? And then what does Moderna do? They have to then hopefully made so much money or have so much capital on hand to start buying other companies. At least Pfizer's diversified. They have other drugs and they have a lot of stuff in the pipeline. But Moderna really doesn't have much, and I don't even know how they even got into the whole vaccination thing. It's very interesting. This was a nothing company, blew up overnight, and it's the same thing. It's like, why wouldn't Pfizer have ran? to match it. Like I said, these are the two companies that have kept the whole market stable, and brought it all back. But it's interesting, you read all the stories about logistics and delivery issues, and I don't know, half of what you read you can believe, half of what you read is probably all BS. So it's hard to say. But all right, let's take two more questions, guys. What do you guys got? New expression. I purchased 100 CZR during the spring at 14 and ready to sell at 75. That's terrific. A nice profit there. That's why you guys are my money makers. Andy, Raju, what they asked you in Punta Cana, test to go. Not sure what that means. Recommends preparing for... Basil says, recommendations on preparing for a Tesla crash, buying a long-term put. Yeah, I mean, I'd either, buy to open one, instead of selling it, buy it to open and, hope it drops, or, I don't know. Like I said, it just blows me away. It's like I said, it's the person with this, the soccer ball on the playground kicking around, everybody just follows them. So, hard to say. Andy says, I'm asking if they asked you COVID tests. So no, they did not ask me. They have random COVID testing at the airport for people when they come. They take your temperature there. They take your temperature at the hotel properties. They ask you the surveys because everybody's very honest on the survey if they were around somebody who had it or somebody was sick or if they're sick. But no, I mean, I always answer them truthfully, but I always joke because they're like, do you know anybody? It's like, if you came all the way down here, you're going to be like, oh, you know what? I know that one guy, and, don't let me in. Send me home. So, but yeah, we're at a beautiful casino, resort, I should say. It's the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. And I'm going to have a big event down here for my big jackpot group. So, maybe the big jackpot's going to go public here. We'll have a publicly traded slot index of the Roger playing slot machines, That'll be my new venture. Unfortunately, would probably lose. I couldn't recommend an investment in that one because the slots always have an advantage. But hey, guys, thank you so much. Maybe we'll do a Sunday update, talk about the markets, talk about if the government reaches a stimulus package and what it could look like or does look like. And if they don't reach it and nothing's going to take place, next week for the next 2 weeks until January 20th, what does that look like for the markets and how would you guys react? But I do know a couple of things. One is you guys are the best. Thank you for getting us to over 3,500 subscribers so quickly, everyone who's liked and shared my videos. 2, I'm going to be live in a casino tonight on my other channel, The Big Jackpot. And 3, you guys better tune in and watch me because Raj is going to make money tonight. Take care, guys. I'll see everyone later on tonight or Sunday on Raja Makes Money for my thoughts on what we're going to do for the week. Have a great weekend if I